same there. It's hard to ask this question, but I want to ask it. I know why I feel that you should be the governor. I know many things that you've taught me that has changed the temperature and the format in the household for how we vote and how we think and what we know the governor actually holds in the palm of their hand for the state of Georgia. Explain to the people that are watching that may not understand it the way we now do because of you. Why do you feel you are the best choice for governor?
So we know that 4 years can change a life, whether it's 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, 4 years in a job you hate, 4 years in a job you love. 4 years can change your future. Mm-hmm. The governor serves for 4 years. And for the last 4 years, we've had a governor who has ignored a housing crisis. He's ignored a healthcare crisis. He's ignored a gun violence crisis. Mm-hmm. And he made it his mission to strip women of their right to choose. I'm running because I believe we have to get back to the fundamentals, back to the basics, investing in making housing affordable everywhere in Georgia, making sure that we expand Medicaid and lower healthcare costs, but also save hospitals. It should appall every person in Georgia that we are losing one of only 2 level 1 trauma centers that serve nearly 50% of the state. If somebody gets in an accident on I-20 or 285, if Grady can't take you, where are they going to take you? When that hospital shuts down, that's what we're facing. I'm running because I know that we should invest in education at every level. And because I know that people need to be able to make a good living, whether they work for themselves or someone else. And right now we have a governor who basically sells the state of Georgia to others by saying you can pay them low wages when you get here. I want people to compete for us and invest in us. And I want us to grow our own jobs and invest in ourselves. And so for me, becoming governor is about doing for the people of Georgia, fighting for the people of Georgia, the middle class, the working class, the forgotten folks, helping those who never believed that they had a real shot, but also helping those who got their shot to do a little better, because usually they'll reach back and bring somebody else. And so, fundamentally, I want to be governor, and I will be a great governor because I was raised to work hard, to look out for others, and to never quit. And that's what I want to do for the state of Georgia.
So amazing.
You're very good. Wow. So look, you two have gotten to ask me a lot of questions for Here's the Thing, but now I'm going to turn it on you. And I'm going to start with you, Ciara. Can you tell me, you've become more politically active. Both you and Monica have become much more politically active and louder about your beliefs. Can you talk about why that is? What was the switch that turned on for you? What made you engage? And which politicians are you thinking about? How do you decide who you support?
Well, I think for me, it's just understanding the power of my voice, knowing that my voice matters. My voice carries weight. And I say that because voting is where I can use that power, and it's been a great feeling to have an experience when I've been a part of voting, and what I voted for, who I voted for was in office. That was something that was really, it was just an incredible, I felt like I was a part of something. Like I felt like I was really making a difference in that moment. I think that when you understand that really can make a difference, you get up, you get out, you go vote, you use your voice. And as far as the politicians that I personally gravitate towards, I always look for the person that's that's meeting me at my level, meeting us at our level as humans, right? Where's the compassion for humanity? I think as you talk about the person that's in office right now, it's like, to me, they think more about business versus humanity. Like when you were talking about education, honestly, I want to interrupt you a few times. I was like, keep it together. But what you were saying is true. Like I have an incredible passion for education and teachers. I am very, very sensitive to teachers, because God knows I got 3 of these things around my house, 3 children. Monica has 3 children too. And it is work. Teachers get up and they go and give their all to walk away with so little. And for me, that bothers me. It's been a passion thing for me for a long time. And I've been trying to figure out how to also get involved in that space more, because teachers deserve so much more. But to hear your passion about these things, right? To hear how you're thinking about the full picture, that can really change the history of things, change like the whole, like not just the history of things in general, but someone's family. When you talk about Medicaid and Medicare and wellness, like we have to be thinking about these things. So when I hear someone like you speak about those things, I get passionate. I'm like, whoever's watching right now, why wouldn't you want to get up, get out and vote and use your voice? This is a chance for us to be heard, you know? And so when I understand that, I get excited, you know, I jump all in. I want to use my platform to share and all the things that I'm learning in the process. And I love when someone is meeting us where we are. That is the only way that we're going to make true changes. It's time. It's time for something different. It's time for something new. It's time for someone who really cares. You know, I feel like these past few years that we've been living in, we were taking some steps forward about, you know, for well, 5 years. I get my count right. You guys can follow the math, what I'm trying to say. But we took some steps backwards, you know, and we have a lot of cleaning up to do. And we need people like you in office that can be a part of making that change. So I love when someone can meet us where we are, can be aware of where we need to go, and is about that life of making it all happen.
Well, thank you. Monica, what about you?
I share the same sentiments. We talk about a lot of this stuff because my kids are a bit older, and us being around through the births of the six of them in different ways and different capacities, you get a chance to see how the things that are changing change them. The things that are changing. You know, you look at the crime here now, and I look at where I'm from. I'm still a person that keeps not only my feet, but my heart and my ears to the streets that I'm from. And I think knowing what their concerns are concern me, knowing that my concerns are just as relevant, but they are also different. Who is able to address all incomes, all people, all feelings, all races, colors, and creeds, and understand that it may be different in some places, but they all need a certain level of change. And that takes you not be, you can't clock in and out of what's needed here. And that's one of the so easy for me when you guys reached out to me and you and I talked on the phone, Miss Stacy. I told you, I said, I'm here, and I meant what I said. So use the ability to discern when someone cares. That concern, care, compassion, those are things that you can't buy. It's not just circling a name. Those are not things. And you were raised has a lot to do with it. You know, when I look at candidates and they share things about their background, that interests me a lot too. When you have people that care about their community, part in educational backgrounds for people like yourself, and how your parents pushed you towards higher learning all your life. There was no, we don't know exactly what we'll be when we're kids, but we know that influence matters. Those are the things that even push me to look at people to decide that this is who I'll get behind. That played a major thing, that I believe in Miss Stacy because I see also what her parents believed matters. It mattered that you cared about all of the communities, all of the incomes. I am still very much a part of where I'm from. I can still pull up, get out, have a conversation. That's something I'm known for. I'm never leaving that. And it's important for me to make sure that even their voices are heard, telling them that, listen, now, this is what you can do. That's important. And just understanding that you have to have a real person, like Ciara said, it's become almost mechanical, where it matters how it looks, you know, and not how it feels and what it actually is. So that's how I choose who I get behind. That is how I choose. It's not just what you say you do. I don't I don't even pay attention a lot of times to what people say only, because we know that people put on facades. That comes with the territory. But you can see by the actions of, that's how I make decisions. And I make those decisions with real people standing right behind me with the heart of what it is that they feel like they suffer most from, and with being right here. I went to North Clayton High School. I went to, you know, a cat around there too. These are all the people that I still love and able to keep a part of me right there in the heart of where things need to be changed. And that change can only be implemented by people that are, how can you be there when you do not know what they are dealing with? So I watch you all the gap and right in the, you know, it's like if you go to the places that the first thing they say is they don't know what we feel, they're not over here. over there, that you're over there. So when I look at people like yourself and other people that I voted for, I can't support you if you're not of the people, and you can't be of them if you're never if you. So that's how I make my decision.
Well, I just need you to not run against me this year. If you give me a moment, that's it. That's all I'm asking. Now, Ciara, I hear about this prayer. Are you going to send me a copy? I'm serious. There's some things I need. Are you going to send me this prayer? Because I need some help.
Wait, what'd you say, Mo? I can't hear you, Mo.
One for me, or that's another day.
This is my.
First of all, listen, ladies.
You can call her later. This is I asked first.
Listen, Stacy, I got you. No, but let me tell you, I always say prayer works. Prayer really does work. I am an avid believer in prayer. That has carried me through so many parts of my life. And, if I'm just going to say, we can go ahead and pray right now. Heavenly Father, let's bless Stacy to be the next governor of Georgia. Let's go. Come on now, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, prayers are up, Stacy. We've got to do this. Stacy has got to be there. This has to happen. So yes, I got you on the prayer. Okay, we can pray in many ways. All right.
Thank you,
praying for you to be the next governor. So let's go.
Well, my priorities straight. Thank you. Now, Miss Fabulous Monica with the hat. What is this Gunica I hear about? I did my research. I meet you where you are. Come back into the frame. Come on. Go.
Gunica.
What does Gunica mean?
Out loud.
My 17-year-old, what does Gunica mean? What's that mean?
It just means she don't play. She's serious.
He said it means she don't play. It really, he's exactly right. So Gunica, it started off, believe it or not, as an insult. It was like they would call me Gunica, Glocka. It's supposed to have been an insult, but I was never insulted because I knew that it came from, I don't play about my family, my business, my integrity, the people I love. That was me. And one thing that I did do was I matured Gunica a bit. Less of the pop off and more of what I stand for and how I stand for them is important. A part of what I want my legacy to be is authenticity, genuineness, the ability to still touch the people and never think I'm above anything, because we're all just everyday people. And sometimes when people do what we do, they forget, they think they're above something. No, it's the people that keep us where we like to be. So the second you forget that, you and I are not the same. But Gunica really derived from me, Miss Stacy, you remember kick down the door and smack the chick just to show I have in it. Okay, but I've gotten control. I don't see about it.
Well,
It's there, but it did start with me just play. I don't play, period. And you can't, especially about the things you love and the people you love, who you are. I don't play about who I am. If I read something that's not true, I'm expressing myself. So that's where the Gunica has come. I've matured her a little bit. We have fun with her. I was never offended when I was given that nickname because I knew that that was a person that didn't understand a real person. And that's something that I never plan to lose. So if you ever have a problem during this election,
I'm getting prayer and Gunica. This has been a very, very, very beneficial IG Live. Okay. Ciara,
Yeah.
we're going to change well, Gunica gets back together. Ciara, tell me about the first time you voted.
Oh my gosh, this is so much fun, by the way. I was like, we have to pray before Gunica comes out. That's what we're going to have to do. But yes.
it's okay. It's okay. That's what
You
she
got this.
It's okay.
So yes, so Stacy, the first time that I voted, I voted for Barack Obama. And that was special. I remember the excitement of going out to the polls, and I remember being in the hurt. Now, let me tell you, mommy brain is real, so I can forget a lot of stuff. But I'll never forget being in my rehearsal hall late night. I was rehearsing for some award show. I don't remember the show I was rehearsing for, but I remember standing by the TV and them announcing that he was our president. That was unforgettable and obviously monumental. And that was a great moment, an example where I felt like my voice was heard. Like I was a part of that. And I was so proud. So that's my first memory. And I'm really proud of that till this day.
Monica / Gunica. Which door did you kick down the first time you voted?
Oh, let me think. Well, the first time I voted was a long time ago. Melinda, let me think. Yeah, it had to be Clinton.
Yeah.
It had to. And I remember participating heavily at the White House afterwards because for that level of understanding, I will not that I always understood before I started to really take who I am, move it from the South Side into the world and into the White House for the first time. And being there, what I went and did was I sat down and I talked to them about the importance of keeping electives and music in schools and fighting for that and raising funds for that. You know, remember growing up, you go to chorus, you go to band, and there was a time where that was in question to be removed. And I went and in all his coolness, Monica, this is important for all of us. We love having so cool. But he heard what I had to say about how standing in chorus and learning to harmonize and work with other people and all of these things that were given to us in the public school system at that point, why you could not take that away. So that was the first time that I voted and the first time that I actually went into the White House and did the work that needed to be done.
Fantastic. Well, Ciara, I'm going to give you my last question. So I know the first thing I want to do as governor is expand Medicaid because it creates 64,000 jobs. It gives 500,000 people health care. It reduces costs for everyone. It helps us save 19 hospitals. They're at risk of shutting down. It helps save lives. But you are now governor for 24 hours. So what you doing?
Well, first of all, we're going to celebrate. Okay. But I'm definitely going to jump right into the things that are important to me. Roe versus Wade has to be addressed. We've got to get that right. That's right away from me. And then I would also focus on the Voting Act.
Yes.
What's been put in place is insane, as you talked about earlier. You know, there's no reason why we have all these different things to inhibit people and to really create more suppression. You know, that's in place. It's time for we got to reverse that. So for me, those would be my two main focuses for starters. And yeah, I think that's what Governor Cece would do.
There we go.
Well, this has been so much fun. I mean, everybody's watching right now and everyone that's tuned in, we know you all may have some questions. I mean, this is really a treat. I just have to say, I start off by the top by saying that this is an honor to be with you, but I am really, really enjoying myself. So I know people have some questions out there. Mo, do you want to fill some of these questions from people that are coming in? Because we know they have questions to ask Stacey. So let's see what we have going on. Guys, put your questions in below and let's see what you guys want to know from Stacey. All right, so let me see here too. I think there might be one that my team just sent in and they were saying, well, you just asked me. We kind of just answered it actually about your first plan of action for once you get in. But if you were to get in, when you get in, we're going to speak life into this. When. I'm always like, speak life, okay? There is life and death in the tongue, so we're going to speak life, only life. But this question I see right here, it says, when you become governor, will your office offer internships to students?
That is an amazing question. So when I was elected in 2006, and then I became the Democratic leader, meaning I was in charge of all the Democrats in the House of Representatives. My office got $13,000. The majority leader, his office basically ended up with roughly $1 million. So there's a little bit of a disparity in investment. So what I had to do was figure out a way to serve all of the people that Democrats represented, even though we didn't have the money. So I took money out of my campaign account to hire some young people to work for me. But then I thought, why not create opportunities for young people? So I actually I brought in a young woman named Jenny, and my chief of staff was a young woman named Ashley. And we created an internship program. And by the end of my 7 years, we'd had more than 400 interns who got to learn about policy, got to learn about politics. And what was the most fun moment for me for all of that was that one day someone from the other side of the aisle came up to me, and I can't tell if he thought it was a compliment or an insult, but he said, "I can tell when somebody works for you because it looks like the United Nations." And for me, that was the highest compliment, because I wanted that office to look like Georgia, but I also wanted young people from every race, every region, every creed to know that they belonged in that space. They deserved to be under that gold dome. They deserved to be at the Capitol. And so, yes, as governor, I want to create a youth council of high school students and middle school students who advise me. I'm going to create internships so that we've got young people working in every level of state government, so they're understanding before it impacts them what they can do, but also so they can help impact solutions ahead of time. My first real job was working for the city of Atlanta as a junior in college, because I got into a fight with Maynard Jackson. He won the fight, but then he hired me, so it worked out.
He saw that fight in you. He was like,
Exactly.
come and fight with me. That's awesome.
You see the question that we're getting so much right now. People are saying, Miss Stacy, when you win and after you've run as governor, will you run for president?
So I've said this before, it's even in a book I wrote. Yes, one day I would love to be president. And I always answer this question because, and this goes back to what Ciara said about ambition. We cannot want things that we're not willing to claim, but we also cannot deny our right to beliefs and to postures and positions. When the whole VP thing was happening and I got the question, people were like, oh my God, how dare she answer the question saying she might want to be vice president? I'm like, why wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
How many Black women get asked that question and have a legitimate opportunity to make it so? Yes, I want the job of helping as many people as possible achieve the dreams that they have, removing obstacles from them and making the country better. But the job I want right now, the job that matters most to me, is the job of governor, because that is a job that changes lives. Look, Trayvon Martin, when he was shot, the law that let his murderer go free was a law that was signed by a governor, not by a president. When they eviscerated the social safety net and treated Black women as less than human because they needed a little extra help, that law didn't start in Washington. It started with the governor of Wisconsin. And mass incarceration took off in the United States with 3 strikes you're out. That didn't start in Washington. That didn't start with the 94 crime bill. It started with the governor of California. He passed and signed the first 3 strikes you're out law. And if we live in the South, we know that Jim Crow, those laws that denied Black people their citizenship for 150 years, was signed by 9 governors. It never had a single federal law. And so for me, the most important job, especially in this moment, is the job of governor, because we need someone who believes in our humanity, in our integrity, and in our right to thrive. That's why I want this job. And so, yeah, I'll think about some jobs later on, but the job I want in 48 days, because I am counting, is the job of governor.
Yes, let's go. That is so inspiring. Your fearlessness is, I mean, this is how we have to think. We have to think this way as women. We have to believe in like what we want to do, who we want to become. Why not us? Why not her? I mean, I hope that everyone that's watching, especially the ladies, are getting a dose of major inspiration right now, ladies. Let's go. This is amazing. Okay, so then let's see, we got some more stuff here. Let's see. Okay. I think my team sent in something else too here to my phone. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. How will you help the ATL film industry thrive as a governor?
So let's understand that the film industry is not just Atlanta, it is the state of Georgia, but it is under attack by the current governor. We know that we lost Music Midtown. We lost Music Midtown because of his gun laws. Because when Georgia has the 9th highest gun violence rate, and it's the guns are the #1 killer of our children, instead of strengthening gun safety, he weakened gun laws. And because of that, because of the weak gun laws in Georgia, Music Midtown took its $50 million and left. We know that because of his voter suppression law, the one he signed in 2021, we lost $100 million from the All-Star game. They said we can't bring people. In fact, it was the black players with the MLB who said, look, we don't want to come to a place that doesn't treat us with the respect and the voter access that we deserve. And so they lobbied, and that game left. And when it comes to abortion laws in Georgia, I have spent so many hours on the phone talking to people about why I need them to stay and fight. But we need to win, because now that that law is the law of the land, now that women are denied the right to control their bodies, it's going to be harder and harder for projects to stay here in Georgia. When a woman knows that she's going to be on set for 9 months or for 8 months or 6 months, but she's got to know within 6 weeks what she can do. Otherwise, she faces being criminalized. The doctor who helps her faces 10 years in prison. It's going to be harder and harder to keep that industry here. And here's the thing. We forget that when the film industry came to Georgia in 2008, it didn't just organically grow here. We got it from North Carolina and we got it from Michigan. I know Monica remembers, and Ciara probably does too. Dawson's Creek was filmed in North Carolina. All these films and television shows that were happening in North Carolina and in Michigan came to Georgia when they got governors who decided that they didn't have to do what the people wanted. And that's how Georgia got it here. And we need to understand that there are other states that are eager to take this film industry from us. And that's why I want to be governor, to not only have the laws to make certain that people can work here, but make sure they want to stay here. But in addition, I'm going to protect the tax credit. I'm going to make certain that we are creating apprenticeships that help folks from our communities that are often underserved and overlooked, get jobs in the film industry. Right now, you got to know someone to get somewhere. And I want to create those internships that let our young people get into the industry early so they can grow their opportunities. And I want to make sure that we're providing financing so that those independents and those creatives who have amazing ideas but don't know where to start don't have to put themselves in the hawk to get started. But you need a governor who actually believes in investing in people and protecting our freedoms for the film industry to stay here in Georgia.
That's so good and so powerful. Someone wrote, save Georgia. Yes, we clearly see that Stacey Abrams can save Georgia. Come on. Well, let's see what else we have. Mo, do you see some other questions there?
There are actually several good ones that they just handed me. Okay. What piece of advice do you have for younger generations who want to make a change? What would be the steps that they take to do so?
So let's start with why I talk about voting so much. Voting is not magic. I know politicians talk about it, you vote and these magical things happen. That doesn't work. Voting isn't magic. Voting is medicine. Medicine is something you have to take over and over again. And when you stop taking it, whatever's wrong with you is coming back and bringing friends. And so part of what young people, the power they have is when you understand it's medicine, then you organize around how do you keep it going. And that's something I've seen young people do spectacularly well on every issue that matters to them. But when we don't use that power in voting, then the people who want us to stay sick, the people who create the ills in our society, they're doing their part. and they get amplified by it because they know we're going to get distracted, or worse, we're going to get depressed and give up. And so the first thing is, do not let people take your attention from your mission. The second is, know that you're not in this alone. Those who are older may not have gotten it done, but some of us are still working. We're just waiting for you to come and help. I got to do a speech when I was 19. I got to speak at the 30th anniversary of the March on Washington. And I talked about three things: jobs, justice, and peace. Still working on all three of those. But where we were 30 years ago is not where we are today. And the progress that gets made has to be acknowledged. We don't have to rest on our laurels, but we have to acknowledge that progress has been made so we know what else we can fight for. And then the last thing is that you have the right to expect everything. Never let anyone tell you to dampen your ambition or lower your vision. We have the right to see the future that we want, and we have the right to believe we can make it so. And that's why I am so bullish about this job and about this opportunity, because I can see what Georgia would look like if we had a governor willing to invest in us. I can see what our schools would look like if our teachers could actually teach instead of teaching and driving the school bus and having 38 kids in the classroom. I'm being slightly hyperbolic, but not really. I know what we could be like if we had affordable housing in every part of our state so folks could take care of themselves and their families. I believe that my ambition is met by my vision, but I'm reaching out because I can't get there without the young people in the state of Georgia. And if we do this together, what we can change in this world is unlimited.
That is so amazing. You know, I thought when you were speaking, I thought about never let someone dim your light.
Yep.
Clearly, Stacey wants the light to shine bright in Georgia for all of us, for everyone in Georgia. And I love voting is medicine, the medicine we need. We need the right person in place to help make all this change that is like long overdue. It's time. It's time. Maybe there's one more question out there from someone, and we can go quick here. Let's see, the team's in some more stuff. Let's see here. Okay, talk about the medicine. Okay, there's more questions. I'm trying to go to a quick one so everybody can have a little something before we go out. Okay, let's see here. Oh, this is actually a good one. Oh, okay, so you, Stacey, you work with the homeless population.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So Georgia, unfortunately, has a fast-growing homelessness population, and it's comprised of people who are being pushed out because they can't afford rents. We have those who have mental health issues who can't afford supportive housing or get access. We have those who have substance abuse issues. We have a lot of people who are returning citizens. And because Georgia has such a large veteran population, we have a number of veterans who are homeless. I know that we need more inventory in our housing, but we also need to have more money put in place in local governments so they can invest in housing. And right now, the governor's not doing enough. He's sitting on nearly $500 million to keep people in their homes and won't spend the money. And we need a governor who actually believes that we deserve access. Now, mind you, this is a governor who made millions in real estate, but won't help working families stay in their houses. And that, to me, that kind of hypocrisy is not only appalling, it's economically inefficient. If we help people stay in their houses, we are helping their kids go to school. We're helping them get access to better health care. We are changing the future for the better. And so for me, homelessness is more than just not being housed. It's about all the other pieces. It's about crime. It's about education. It's about healthcare. And it's a solvable problem. We keep pretending. The scripture that annoys me the most that people rely on is when they say, well, the poor will always be among us. That wasn't the Lord telling us to get used to it. It was a challenge. It was a call to action. It is our job, our duty, our responsibility as citizens, as humans, to make certain we are helping the least of these. And someone who does not have shelter deserves not only our grace, but our investment. And for me, that is a driving force, because they're but children, men who are being separated from their families because if they go to a shelter, they can't stay in the same place. There is so much more that we could do if we had a governor who believes it's our job to help people get a step up and get a step inside. And if we do that, we can make the world better.
Miss Stacy, how can they continue to get more information? There are a lot of people that are on this live that I in my heart. This is the first time that they're hearing a lot of the information that you're sharing. This is all this is a new spectrum of information. It's invoking thought. How can they find more information? Because I feel that this is going to make a lot of people want to know more. Can you tell
Mhm.
me and do that?
Yeah, if you go to my website to stacyabrams.com. Now there's some people like, oh, she has too many policies. We've got a lot of issues in the state. And so I try to really tackle the issues that people care about. So if you go to my website, it's not going to be like a 5-second snippet. We'll give you some headlines. But if you want to know more, you can click on the link and you can learn more about the issue and learn about why the solutions matter. Because it's hard to solve problems you don't know not only what is the problem, but why is it a problem. But if you go to our website, stacyabrams.com, and while you're there, you can learn how to volunteer. You can learn about the dates for the election. You can learn about all the ways that we can make this happen. And I just encourage people to go to my website, but also you could, send me a DM on Twitter. I think you can do the same thing on Instagram. That is not my forte, but anytime you have a question, just reach out to me. I am happy to answer.
Well, Stacy, you are amazing. One, we thank you for that access. You are special, to be even extend yourself in that way. Again, is I really believe is where we're going to see change happen. We need someone that's for the people, and you are a woman for the people. You inspire us so much, and this has been a total honor to be here with you today. Just thank you so much for your time. Thank you for how you're pumping so hard on this journey. We are pumping hard for you. We are believing in this journey. Why not? Stacy, let's go. Mo, I mean, this has been fun. This has been amazing, right?
I respect and admire. You guys always touch lives, and I feel like we can do this together. What happened 4 years ago has nothing to do with what will happen in just a couple weeks. We got your back on this end.
We got your back. So for everyone that's watching and all the Georgians out there, the Georgia pages, you guys make sure you remember that the last day to register in Georgia is October 11th. Early vote begins October 17th. Early vote ends November 4th. And election day is November 8th. 48 days. Let's go. This has been so much fun. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Stacy, thank you again. It was an honor. Mo, I love you. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you too. My inner fangirl is just so excited right now. Ciara, Monica, thank you so much. Your grace, your kindness, and your engagement means the world. So thank you for having me.
Woo, let's go. Team Stacy. Hey.
There.
Hey. Bye.